The final page in your books is page 21 when it comes to dealing with percents in the real world, specifically talking about money. Now, there are going to come a time where you have a problem that is more than 1%, and your instinct is going to say, let me put all the percents together, or let me add and then subtract, or subtract and then add, and then I can just do one proportion or 1% equation in order to get the answer. You can't do this. You've got to do them one at a time, and you must do them in the order that they are written in the word problem. So whatever one comes first, you deal with first, and then whatever one comes second, deal with second. Looking at the first problem, you buy a gallon of milk that costs $3.50. The milk is discounted for 10% off. You also have to pay 6.25% tax on the discounted price. What's the final cost? Now, there wasn't a nice little box drawn, so I'm going to draw one. So first we have to deal with, we have milk that's $3.50, and that's 100% of the cost. And you get it for 10% off, meaning that's your discount of 10% off. So we're actually paying 90% of the cost because we got 10% off. For our proportion, we have n over 350, and we're paying 90% of that cost out of that 100 because that 10% came off. Cross multiply as normal. And we get, now in order to help keep this straight a little, I'm going to do some different colors in hopes that you're able to see it a little bit better. I'm not going to do the equation on these problems. If you are liking the equation and you would like to know how to do the equation for these problems, you're more than welcome to attempt it on your own and have myself or Ms. Walker check it tomorrow morning or tomorrow in class. Just let us know that you are wanting that checked. So now we know that the discounted price is going to be $3.15. When we go to do the second one, $3.50 is 15 cents is going to represent 100% of our cost. And we are adding on 6.25% in tax. So that means we're paying a total of 106.25% in tax. So we set up our proportion. Using the $3.15 because that's the discounted price. We are not using the $3.50. We only needed that price in order to calculate what the milk was going to cost before the tax. We're paying 106.25% tax. Now we can solve our proportion. Equals 334.6875, which we then divide. We don't care about the 875. All we need to worry about is the fact that that 6 is going to make that 4 go up. So our final answer is $3.35 for our milk after the discount and the tax. Notice that we did two separate problems. a good way to remember this is there's 2%, therefore we need 2 proportions. Do not try to combine the proportions and solve it all as one in one step. It's not going to work. Now for the second one and final one on real world percents. You go to a restaurant and order $137 worth of food. Excuse me, $137.61 worth of food. You decide to tip the waiter 18% and you're going to pay 6.5% tax. What is the final cost of the meal? Again, your instinct is to combine those percents, which is great, and then just do one proportion. The problem with doing that is your tax is on a different amount. With the first one on this page, notice that when we put the tax into the problem, it was on the $3.15 cost. It's not on the $3.50 cost. So that second percent is using a different number as the whole number, and that's what makes it different, and that's why we can't combine them. Let's do our first rectangle. 100% of the cost is $137.61. You want to tip the waiter 18%, therefore you're actually using 118%. For your proportion, it's 118 out of 100 because all percents are out of 100. And then your variable, in my case I'm using n because I'm not very creative, over the whole cost of 137.61. We cross multiply like we have been, just like normal. And we get a decimal that makes us round. So we don't care about the 8. We want to know what's the 9 going to do to the 7. 9 is going to make the 7 round up. So we get $162.38 with the tip. Now we can go ahead and handle the tax. So our rectangle, that represents 100% of the cost. 100% is $162.38. We are adding on 6.5% for the tax, meaning that our total percent is 106.5%. On to the proportion. Again, if you are wanting to see the proportion or you want to try it and have us check it tomorrow, or if you're wanting to try the equation on your own or you want to see the equation tomorrow, please speak up in class so that we can help you with that. Cross multiply like normal. And we don't care about the 7. 4 makes the 3 stay the same. So the final cost is going to be $172 $1.93. If you're wanting to know about the equations, you're still going to have to do 2 of them. Just because you want to do the equation doesn't mean you're not going to have to do 2 of them. The equation's still going to require you to do 2 different equations if you have 2 different percents. Every time you add a percent to the problem, that's 1 extra step, and that's 1 extra amount of work that you're going to have to do.